two fish stories. Two of your best fish stories for the viewers.
Right.
Number one first. Your best.
Right. I'll tell you what my best free fish were, and you'll understand when I say this. My best free fish. Not fantastic.
Yeah, what?
It was a 12/8 bass.
Fantastic fish.
Yeah, off Whitsands.
Which probably means the most to you.
It does. It did then, it still does now.
Because you're a bass angler,
because I was a bass angler and I absolutely loved chasing the silver bar. I never thought I would ever get a double figure fish. No. But I did. And it was 12 pound 8 ounces, photographed by Mike Millman, who was our local correspondent in Plymouth. Then Gareth Davis and a few of the other lads, Nigel Davis, just loads of them. Yeah. They took us to a place called Aberthorpe.
Yeah, smoothing.
And we were smoothhound fishing. Now, I've got to tell you this, right? I phoned up Nigel Davis because he did the casting and that, and I got on really well with him. And I said, "What bait do you want?" He said, "You need crab about the size of like 50p pieces and that." He said, "That'll do you well." He said, "You need a few of them." So I went out 2 days before crabbing, picking crab.
Backs.
Now, what I forgot, and which he failed to tell me, when he said you need crab, he meant peeler crab. Right. I didn't take that on board. So every crab I got was an hardback.
Don't make the difference.
And they went from that to like that.
Yeah.
So I turned up and he said, Nigel come over. I just had a great rapport with him. And he said, "Right, Nick, what crab you got then?" So I had like one of them big tall white buckets. So I pulled the lid off, because I used to sit on that. Pulled the lid off and it was about that deep at the bottom. And he went, "Hey lads, get over here, look at the crab he's got," like that. And then he reached in, and I won't say the profanities, but it basically started off with, like, they put it on social media, don't they? Like,
ow.
What the, you know what I mean? And I said, "Well, you said get crab." He said, "No, peeler." I went, "They'll do." I said, "I'll catch on them." He said, "Yeah, right, we'll see." So we set the rigs up, everything. I got 2 crab out, 2 Sakuma Manta 6/0s I had. Put 2 big, decent sized ones on that, whipped them on, fired it out. And they got these like round things there. Yeah. Like I was in between. Like I was fishing right next to Gareth Davis, and then the rod just went bang within 5 minutes. Nearly chucking out the rod.
They do there, don't they?
Yeah, you could hear the ratchet going, you know, and I had me slosh 20 on then at the time. So up with the zippy, struck in, and you can, when you reel it in, it's great, and you see that little fin going through the water. It was my first ever smoothhound, by the way. Or my first ever go at smoothhounding.
What size?
12 pound 8.
It's mental how your bass, your smoothie, and your next one are all £12 8.
My bass, obviously my best fish. The smoothhound was 12 pound 8. The bass was 12/8.
This one's got to mean the most to you, though.
The bass.
No, this next one, because it's hell of an achievement. And I know it on previous things.
It is because of what you did. Yeah. But it wasn't a target fish.
No,
it was a bycatch.
Yeah, same as me.
Same as you. Yeah. So I got lucky with this one. But
in a cod championships, wasn't it?
Yes, we were fishing the Weymouth Cod Championships, and I was fishing with my mate Steve Puckey. So there was me, there was Julian Shambrock, me, another guy, I can't remember his name, but he was a mate of Julian's, then Steve Puckey. And we started fishing, as you do, for the cods, and I think about 2-3 hours into the comp, I don't know, just
600 yards away from where I had mine.
That's all it was, just one pull down on the raft. I thought, I had a bite there. And the line went slack, so you know the fishers picked it up.
Yeah.
So I reeled in, held it a bit, then I felt the pull, whack, rod just bent over. Didn't move. And I thought, I looked at Pucks is looking at me, I looked in and went, like that.
We're really I
thought really a £1,000 boy, like that, because hardly anyone had caught a cod. And I'm pulling this fish in like that. Reeled in, reeling in, it's coming, but it's knocking. And I'm thinking this is a cod shaking its head, trying to spit the bait out or, de-hook itself. And as it come in, I looked down and there was this like, it come in white side up.
Oh, did it?
Bottom up. And it was the size of a dustbin lid. Yeah. and I thought, that's not a cod, that can't be a cod that shape. And I pulled it in, and I realised then, I thought it was a ray, because just before the competition was starting, I was talking to Julian Shamrock, and he said to me that they used to catch a lot of smaller rays off there. And I'd never caught a ray in my life, right? So I pulled in, and I ran down the beach, because I managed to get it up on the single. It wasn't too big of a swell, but I thought, and I ran my hand straight in its mouth. I knew it was a turbot. I ran my hand straight in its mouth. It got me across here with its teeth. Pulled it up, walked up, and Julian went like that to me. Like, he said, well done, mate, well done. And then
Shimano
all these people come over, and he went, he said, nice fish, well done. I said, yeah, it's not what I thought it was, Steve, but he said, it doesn't matter.
The Shimano mission record for a little while.
Yeah, that's Shimano mission record. The record then was £7.12.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, that guy held that for quite a while. I bet he thought that would never get beat. And then I had one at 12.8.
You look at where me and you used to fish from down in Cornwall.
Yeah.
Not a million miles away from Newquay. But my best there was £7. Right, and I put a lot of sessions down into there, right?
Yeah.
But down there is known for turbot. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know
right?
what you
Down
are,
there's
mate.
known for turbot, and you get lots of turbot down there. But to have a fish that size and actually be able to count that in your catch for thing is absolutely it's one of the luckiest things you can do.
Oh, I knew it was lucky.
Yeah. But to have that fish on and to see the power, how can you describe the power of that fish to other fish you've caught in that region?
Unbelievable. Because you see how a flounder swims.
Yeah.
You get a flounder on a carp rod, and it decides not to play ball. You can feel it.
Yeah,
you can really feel it.
You described it exactly
that there with a beach caster and a 12-8 fish like that pulling on your line. I actually thought it was a cod shaking its head back and front.
Mine was 11.
But obviously this thing's undulating, trying to swim away.
When I caught mine, I rung him straight away and went, how big was your turbot?
Yeah, I know, that was
He said
great.
12.8. I said, no way, you've done me. He said, why? What have you caught? I said, 11.6. He went, no way. And he said, where are you? I told him where I was. He went, you were about 600 yards away from where I caught it.
Yeah, that's right.
But
same area.
But when mine come in, I thought it was a stingray. And I
thought mine was a ray because it come in upside down.
It just sat there, exactly what you said. But at the beginning, when it picked it up, because I thought it was, obviously I seen the did and it slackened off a little bit.
Yeah, that's all I had.
And then it was only until it started slacking down, I thought it was like a dogfish or something. But I started reeling up the slack and it started coming in. But as soon as I felt the thing...
Did you feel it again and hit it?
Exactly what you described. Yeah. It locked over. Now, when you get big rays on and stuff like that, you don't get the knock, you just get the pull.
Yeah, the weight.
And
you feel the weight.
With the turbot, it's similar to... It's similar to a cod. You get that like knock in, but it's different. And like you just said then, if you have a flounder on a carp rod, anything light, the flatties fight like hell.
Yeah,
they do. Proper fight like hell. You know what I mean? You can imagine like.
I found that out when Harry Nash used to take me and Steve Flounder and just how well they can fight.
Well, Adam was telling me a story with a mate of his. He had a 20-pounder off of just off a start point on a boat. What? 20-pound turbot on the thing. He said, absolute monster, like, you know what I mean, like a beast. And he said the trouble they had trying to get it up.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a powerful fish. Yeah, I mean, mine was 7 inches thick.
Yeah,
through the neck where the head
mouth like that.
Oh,
it's like a monkfish when it opens.
I could get my whole fist in its mouth. It was huge.
Amazing experience.
It was huge. You know, took it home and had it. Tastes nice. But I was lucky there was because I didn't have a camera back then because obviously this was way before TSF.
No, you got a picture though, didn't you?
And there was a guy walking up the beach that one of the other lads knew down the beach, and he said, "Oh, there's a bloke up there caught a big fish." He come up, he says, "Everyone caught a big fish." I went, "Yeah, it's me, mate. I've got it here, turbot." So when he come down to the weigh-in, and I had two. That's the photo on my profile.
They give
page.
you something for it as well, didn't they? Because it was a
because the organisers. I knew the guy that won it, right? And his cod, I think it was £1.8, but it was a cod. It was a cod championships. Yeah. And he said he stood next to me and he said, "It's not right, is it, Nick?" I said, "What?" He said, "A magnificent fish like that, what you've caught, and I've only caught that." And I went, "I'll swap you." But
that's him all over. He'd have done it.
He went, no, it's all right, Nick. He said, "I'll take the £1,000, mate." You know what I mean? Yeah, it was good fun. And then the organiser said, "Mate, that's a fantastic fish to catch in my competition." He said, "If you can just hang fire," he said, "I've sent the boy back to the shop."
Yeah.
And he came back and he gave me, what was it? It was one of the first Abbey reels.
Yeah.
multiplier. He gave me that, a nice fixed spool reel, loads of line, loads of hooks. I just shook his hand and said thanks. I wasn't expecting anything for it. I was quite happy that someone was there with a camera, because I never had a camera
100%.
then. You know, I never used to do the
It's always nice to have a
photos
trophy
of
fish. And,
and I've got that picture now as my profile, and it means a lot. But the bass meant everything.
Last question before we go. I know it would do for you, bass, because 12.8 is a monster.
Oh, it's a phenomenal fish, mate.
Most magical angling moment to say farewell to our lovely evening with Nick Panther.
Right. Well, honestly?
Yeah.
Right, was when I got a call off you when you smashed that ray out with Stewie.
Really?
Because of how you landed it. Because I know you. And I knew the way you told it to me over the phone, and the way Stewie told it when I spoke to him, because he was there with you, wasn't he? Yeah. And the danger you went through to land that ray that meant so much to you. To me, I was over the moon for you, mate. Yeah. I really was. Because, and only because, the conversations that we had on the phone of how much time you were spending going raying, and how much fed up Lindsay was getting with you, because you were hardly ever home. But you achieved your goal.
I did.
And for me, that was one of the most magical moments that I've had angling, knowing that you beat you got a fish that you were chasing.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, yeah.
One of my mates, to be honest,
and that's honest to God, mate. That's
you just told me that's how your favourite. My most magical moment, you were there. That's strange, isn't it?
I filmed it.
You did.
Yeah. And I still got the video footage.
On a £12 bass,
but
it was
how magical that was.
How much time we spent getting that bass to go back.
This is what I was just going to say.
And because a lot of anglers think these fish don't go back, and honestly, from my point of view,
Andy,
I would not have wanted to see that £12 bass go back dead. I wouldn't have not wanted to take that fish. For me, obviously doing what I do with like that specimen sort size and stuff, that was so important to get that bass. And you've seen the effort.
20 minutes to get that bass to recover in freezing.
And it kept turning over, didn't it?
In freezing cold water. Your hands were freezing, weren't they?
Yeah, freezing.
Yeah, but I was there
afterwards, and it kept on going.
I got up on that wall.
I remember Paul Lynch. Me and you were trying to get it to go back, and Paul Lynch said, "Boys, that's not going to go back."
No.
And we kept on and on, moving backwards and forwards, getting air in.
But even Paul got excited. He's going, "It's swimming," you know. And then
they went back right at the end.
But didn't it cruise slowly as it went out?
And to see it all on camera was amazing.
I've got it. I've got the video clip at home. Fantastic, mate. But I know what that would have mentioned. Now, in saying that, I didn't put my 12.8 bass back because I was a bit naive then about catch and release.
Did you eat it?
Yeah, of course I had it.
Was it, obviously, for people viewing,
what?
Well, at least you've gone back a few years now and stuff, catch and release has come in a lot on since, well, obviously, when you ate yours. What was it, did it taste like? Because I've been told that big bass don't taste nowhere near as nice as smaller bite.
Well, whoever tells you that is wrong, mate.
Are they?
Yeah, absolutely.
It tastes the same?
Well, I've caught bass after bass, as you know. I've had loads, all different sizes.
And they all taste the same?
Yeah.
Except for the 12 bass, it's more like a steak, isn't it?
I mean, when you get into the conservation side of it, I was told by a guy that was doing tagging, if you're going to take a bass, take a small one.
Yeah.
Because they're not mature enough to spawn.
How old's that? Remember you've done a scale.
When you start taking bass, John Kabosh, you remember John, Big John?
Yeah.
Bless him, he's gone now, bless him. But he took two or three scales off the bass. I gave them to him, and he took them up to the university in Plymouth, and they said it was 16 years old.
Yeah.
Bass.
So
because it is known that bass are one of the slowest growing
Wrasse is even
fish in
slower,
the sea.
believe it or not.
Huh?
I was told the other day wrasse is even slower.
Yeah, I can believe that as well.
Yeah.
And I was always amazed when people caught wrasse, how quick they die when they're out in the water. It's like when you go B-sands and that, and you're catching whiting, and you can reel them in, and you take them off the hook, and you put them back in the surf, and they just float up like that, and you think, it's been seconds since you've reeled them in, and they're flapping. You unhook them, you put them back, and
but people say that about cod. And
it must be the shock.
I've put cod back, and to be fair, if you put cod back and you put them underneath the water and hold them, I think half the time when people chuck them back, they're stunned. I mean, they're not, when they float away, they're probably still stunned. Whiting don't go back very well, do they?
No, not at all.
But I think it, like fish care is very important. I know for you full well, if you caught a £12 bass or a 12.8 now, you'd put it straight back.
Yeah, I wouldn't hesitate, mate. I wouldn't hesitate. And it's that feeling of watching
it's education
that fish.
more.
It's funny enough because I think I've just put a little video up of me and Mike when we fished a creek. Because, like I said, I've had to give up beach fishing now, and so I'm doing a bit of finlet mulleting, a bit of gilthead breaming, and I love fishing like the local estuaries and that. And Mike enjoys that.
You've
sort
done
of
that for the
fishing
last
as well.
few years, though.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Running around Cornwall, you and Mike doing your bits and pieces.
I love it because it's basically you're just driving somewhere and you can park and fish out the back of the car.
For me, he took me down to a market in Newquay one day and he said, "Should we get a couple of beers?" He said, "We're going to be here all night, so by the time we think like that, we'll have 8 hours without no drinking." So we got we got 4-pack and we had 2 beers each, and we were there or literally nearly a full night.
Yeah.
And it was freezing. It was November.
It was in the mid,
I wanted to go to sleep on the bench. It was that boring. And I'll never forget it. I caught a bass about that size, £1.5, and he goes, "I told you we'd catch." So I've been awake all night for a £1.5 bass, Panther.
I just proved the point, didn't I? I proved the point that you could get bass all year round.
It meant more spending time with you on the beach, mate, rather than the bass. But
I enjoyed it. And I think that's why I said about the ray you caught, because I know how good I felt when I caught that 12.8 bass, and when you phoned me up and told me the story of you getting that ray, it was the following morning you rang me.
I did, yeah.
And then Stewie obviously said about it on the social media and I was over the moon for you, mate. Absolutely fantastic, because I knew with the way you described what you did to land that fish, how much that meant to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know how much that 12.8 bass meant to me. And out of the 3 fish that I've caught that have all been the same weight, that was the most memorable.
That's mad. They're all the same weight, though, isn't it?
The turbot was great. I've had a lot of praise for it when I caught it. Did a great feature in TSF with it, and it was great. And it was the size of a dustbin.
I gotta be honest. I've watched a video. Sometimes I get in the bath and you just relax in the bath after work or whatever like that. And I've watched like some of the old things. For me, it's like a photo album. Watching some of our past trips and stuff. You know what I mean? And it's amazing to have that memories relived on camera, because it's very special. And some of the footage we've got, obviously with Nick and I've got, and some of the other lads over from Sea Angler Adventures over the years, is unreal. I mean, we got footage of like £20 blondes being caught on the Bristol Channel. You know what I mean? On reef mocks targeting thornbacks, we've got like £27 blondes down the south coast. We've got big smoothhounds. We've got bass in Cornwall. What Nick's obviously done from the year thing, gilthead bream in Cornwall,
nice
finlet mullet in them in Cornwall, and it's nice to look back sometimes and sit there and watch it and think, I remember that. And
it does. It takes you back.
Even the photos are like, well, there's one picture of us all in the caravan from the other year. Gav, Joseph, me, Nick, Adam, and all the lads that's in the caravan. And I look at it, it makes me smile, because I think to myself,
I've got great memories.
Some of the best memories I have in my life are spent with this man.
Was up here.
Yeah, up here well. Especially. It's something we always look forward to. But
that's why, Andy, I look forward to going out on the beach with Joe.
Yeah.
On a Saturday and Sunday, finding the boys when they're doing their fishing and just chatting. They love it. You've seen the photos; they're all on it, going,
If you see him the weekend, guys, make sure you grab him, because the other year when I was out, I had loads of people grabbing me. Just call him up and say, "Panther, come over here." Don't be afraid to give it a little bit of that. It's going to be hard work, I think, with the winds and that. We're going to do our best when we can. But I'm taking the angling team this year. Obviously, it's something what a lot of you viewers have asked for as well, and obviously the events team and stuff. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to try and catch a fish on camera for you all,
which is
with the guys. Which is going to be
Adam, Steve. Gaffin, hopefully.
So we got a good angling team up here this year. So we'll obviously go over and buy our tickets on the Friday, and then
me and Joe's going out and about.
We can try and do it. Joseph and Nick will be out and about. Obviously, Joseph, I think he's going to try and get down and do some film with us at some point as well. But Nick, thank you very much, mate. It's been a special
brother.
night.
Anytime. I enjoyed it.
Cheers, mate.